What is up, everybody, and welcome to our Week 17 Picks and Preview show. As always, my name's Drew, here with Mr. Newman. How's it going, man?
What's going on? We're a lot colder than you are.
Yeah, well, you know, it actually, surprisingly, while I was down here, it actually is pretty cold. It actually got down to like the 40s last night. So I don't know. Maybe I brought some of the cold down with me, but it was back up to like the 70s today, so I can't complain too much.
Yeah, well, I'll trade your cold there for our cold here any day of the week.
Absolutely. Well, welcome, guys. And as always, this is our Picks and Preview show for Week 16. So we'll dive right into it, John. Well, we're getting down to the nitty-gritty. Nothing else to say about that. A lot of important games this week, really the next 2 weeks. I love that they've moved a lot of division games toward the end of the year, and even the non-divisional games. You notice that they're putting on matchups that, I guess, the schedule makers, it's like they're almost looking into seeing who they think is going to be a playoff team, who they think could contend, and putting some matchups together, because there's a ton of them, dude.
Yeah, it's crunch time. I mean, not only you got playoff, whether you get in or not, you got seeding to be weeded out, and then you got award winners. You know, there's guys that are trying to win. They're not going to say that, but
no,
you know, truth be told, they're trying to win postseason awards, and you know, we forget this on some of these contracts. There's bonuses built in if they're, you know, offensive MVP or Pro Bowl, and so you know, even the teams that may be mathematically eliminated from postseason play, the individual players got something to ride on their performance.
Whole lot of it. So with that said, man, let's dive right into the picks. And as always, I'll let you start us off. So who you got for some of your picks this week?
Hey, you always let me go first. I don't know if it's good or bad, but
sure. Well, I mean, judging by the overall rankings, you might want to keep going first. But I'll take the lead. Sure, maybe it'll change things up.
Yeah, there you go. Go ahead.
Can't hurt. So, all right. Well, sweet. First one that I've got is like I said, a lot of games that I like this week. I actually love the spread on a ton of games, whether it be not only you said seeding, but also a lot of teams that have clinched sitting some players. So there's a lot of these matchups where you really have to look at a lot of rosters. And when I was looking at some of these games right here, the very, very first one that at least stood out to me the most was a team that I actually love this year. And that is, well, hold on, the Houston Texans at -3. Absolutely love them this week. I do think, I don't know, I have a little bit of concern having to go on the road, but I don't know, playing Tampa Bay, I think Tampa is pretty much, I mean, I've always said I do not like Jameis Winston. I think they're a joke. I think he'll put up some fantasy numbers, but I do not see Tampa winning this game. And this is a game the Texans need. This is a game that, I don't know, if they're going to be a good team, if they're going to be that team that's going to take it to the next level, then they've got to win these types of games, and you've got to beat a team like Tampa by more than 3. So I don't know. You give me Texans at -3, that's pretty much saying they'd be a 6-point favorite at home. I'm going to take the Texans.
Yeah, I can't argue with anything you said except one thing. It's the Houston Texans.
Yeah.
And they've just been that team kind of all year where you circle games like they should win and then they lose. And then other games you say, man, they're going to have a tough fight today, and they win. Yep. So they're really a hard team to bet on. They're not that they're a bad team. They're in playoff hunt, you know, but they're just so up and down, and so they're one of those teams. I put them in the Titans in the same category. I just try not to bet on them unless I at all costs. I mean, I'm not saying I never would, but
well, see, I keep saying that too, and then for some reason I keep betting on them, and they've let me down a lot. I guess I don't know. I don't know why I keep going after them, but I don't know. I feel this week against Tampa Bay, 3 is just way too little. I don't know if they think. I don't know. I haven't looked too much into the injury reports and everything on this game, who's starting, who's sitting, but I know Houston needs to win this game. And so I don't see them sitting too many people. I see Tampa. I mean, I see maybe Jameis Winston trying to save his job, but what does that mean? He's going to take a couple extra risks and throw some more interceptions? Like what?
Yeah, he's been, I got to be honest, man. I'm not a Jameis Winston guy. Don't get me crossed up here. He's actually been playing a lot better.
He has.
You know, this game scares me a little bit. I mean, I looked at it, and just when I seen Texans, as I just said, that's sort of a, you know, don't touch type of team. But this game would scare me a little bit. I can't argue with you. The Texans should win. They have more to play for, all that jazz.
Yeah.
But Winston's playing a little bit better, and the Texans, to me, are just one of those teams you don't know which one's going to show up to the stadium, and so I would be a little nervous.
Oh, I'm definitely nervous. But when you see the overall standings, you'll know why I got to take some of these as
no, you're right.
Gambles here. I can't play it safe anymore. We don't have much time left. What's going on, Cats? Thanks for joining us, man. So yeah, I gotta take. Oh, we'll be talking about that game here in just a little bit, Cats. Don't you worry about that one. That's actually quite a bit that we'll be discussing today. But all right, so I'll move on to the second pick. And this one I actually feel incredibly confident about, and it's an underdog pick. And it is the Monday night game against Minnesota. I love the Packers at plus 5.5 for one reason, and that's that Dalvin Cook probably not going to play. I'm not a huge believer on the Packers, but I'm also kind of in that boat where I think the Saints are going to end up getting that seed over Minnesota. I think the Saints are probably going to take the 2 seed. And I don't know. I just see this game as being a massive trap game for Minnesota. They're going to have Kirk Cousins is going to have to do everything if Dalvin Cook doesn't play, especially if he doesn't play. And I don't think he can do it. If you give me the Packers with 5.5 points, almost a touchdown, I'll take it.
Yeah, this game was on my list. Obviously, didn't make the cut. It's a little scary game, and you're right. With Dalvin Cook not in the lineup, that changes the look of this game. And I like Minnesota. The points might be it's a division game, like you say, and this just screams 3-point game to me. Either way. Yep. So I actually like your pick. Just because of the point spread. I think it's going to be one of those 24-21, you know.
Yeah, that's where I looked at it. Like if Cook plays, it could really go either way, even though I still think Monday night game right around Christmas, divisional game, Packers are going to – I mean, Aaron Rodgers is going to want to finish strong as badly as he's been talked about all year. I don't know. I just see this as one of those games that, like you said, even if the Packers were to lose this game, I don't see it. I don't see it, for one, being a high scoring game. Yeah. And two, I don't know. I see this, like you said, as a 1 to 3 point game.
Yeah. I like the pick based on the spread. If this was like a money line pick where you have to win,
nope,
I wouldn't like it. But
nope.
Yeah.
And if it was lower than this, like if it was 4 or 3, probably wouldn't take it because I'd expect to push at 3. But you give me 5.5, I'm going to be comfortable. Like I said, when you see the overalls at the end, you'll understand exactly why I have to make some of these picks.
Yeah,
but I like the Packers at plus 5.5 this week.
Right. I like that pick.
Nice. Well, hey. If you like it, that's probably a good thing because you're kicking my ass right now.
Maybe that's the kiss of death.
Kicking my ass right now, so I sure as hell hope so. See, Cats right there, 21-17. That's perfect. Keep it right in line. That's exactly what I'm thinking it's going to be, right around that. I don't think one team goes over 24. I didn't even look at the over-under, but I probably should have. But anyway, on to the next game. Kind of gave it away in the very first pick, or no, the last game when I said that I think the Saints are going to get that 2 seed. If they are, they pretty much need to win out. I got Saints at -2.5. Now I know they're going on the road, and I know Tennessee's playing pretty good. But it's Tennessee. They haven't shown me enough. I'm never gonna back I'm not gonna back this team this year until there's a complete overhaul and some coaching changes there. I'm never gonna get behind Tennessee at all. I hate picking NFC South teams, but I don't know. I see the Saints as the 2 seed. I think they win this week, and I think they win week 17 to sew it up. So, like I said, and this is another one with the spread. I'll take it if they only got to win by 3. If they had to win by 6 or 7, I might be a little iffy with the Titans because they can score. But if you give me 2.5 and all we have to do is win by a field goal, I'll take it. So Saints at -2.5 will be my 3rd pick for this week.
Well, I just got to say, I'm rooting for you here. I'm hoping you're right because I'm about this. This has nothing to do with our betting or our standings there, but it's going to be, to me, the Steelers or the Titans for that last wild card playoff spot. Yeah. So I got to root for the Saints to beat the Titans. That puts the Steelers one step closer to the postseason. I don't know how long they'll last, but listen, I just want to invite to the dance. It might be a short dance, but getting there it'll be fun, especially this year with all the injuries. So
I didn't even think about that. So you do need this one.
Okay. Yeah, a matter of fact, I probably would have picked this game, Drew,
if it didn't.
Yeah, but I didn't want to I'm a little bit of a superstitious cat.
Oh, me too. Me too.
So when I saw this, I'm like, I'm not touching that. You'll notice I don't pick Steeler games, and I don't pick games that have something to do with Steelers' success or not success. So
if we had anything to play for, I would do the same with Carolina. But our season's been over for weeks. Once you say the name Will Grier, that really means the season's over. So
he's playing.
Playing. I mean, okay.
Maybe you'll be surprised. Maybe you'll be surprised what he does.
I hope so. He can do nothing but surprise me. So the expectations cannot be set any lower for this kid from me. So dude throws for 150 yards. I'm going to be stoked. But anyway, I love Saints at 2.5 here. So we'll go on to the lock of the week. And I thought about this one for a while, but I don't know. Like I said, I have to go with some risky games. And after you sent me some of your picks, there were some that I really liked. And so had to switch it up a little bit here. Once again, it has everything to do with the spread. But my lock is actually the Cowboys at -1.5. I know they're playing Philly. They're playing in Philly. And all this talk about Dak Prescott being questionable. Is he 100%? Blah, blah, blah. I think it's all a bunch of crap. I think he is. I think he's going to play great. I think Dallas wins this game. I have zero confidence in the Eagles this season. Carson Wentz is back to playing decent football. I will say that. He's looked – that throw he made to Miles Sanders last week in the back of the end zone, my God. One of the nicest throws I've ever seen. But I don't know. I think this is the year where – for some reason, I think the Cowboys are going to make the playoffs and Jason Garrett saves his job, which is funny. Yeah, I do. After all of the season, I think he saves his job. And like Cass just said, I think he gets paid with this game. I think this is the game where Dak takes the Cowboys, shows them they're going to the playoffs. I don't think they do much in the playoffs. I'm not saying that at all. But I do think you're going to see them win this game in Philly. I think this is going to be the game that Philly's going to look back on when you look at the team that they're going to put on the field next year. You're going to look back at week 16 and you're going to see where a lot of those changes came from. I think it's going to come from this game. If you give me the Cowboys only have to win by 2, I'll take it.
Yeah, this game, I got to be honest with you. I have no clue. This game is there's so much riding on this game, not just playoffs, but division, coaches' jobs.
Yep.
Contracts with Dak. I mean, this game has got all the elements, and this is like a burrito supreme game. it's got everything in it. It's got contract on the line. It's got a head coach might save his job, might get fired based on the outcome of this game. The winner is going to win a division and get into playoffs.
Probably at 8-8. Like
yeah. This is ridiculous. Like a Disney movie. It's just,
a really like bad Disney movie that no one wants to see.
Yeah, it's a bad football Disney movie all in one. It's got it's got everything. So
they already made the replacement. So maybe part 2. I don't know. But
this game scares me, Drew. I don't know. Like, if someone put a gun to my head, like I could make a point for both sides how they win this game.
Yep.
And easily. I can see both scenarios happening. And so to me, this is like almost like a pick 'em game, and I just don't even know who to pick.
Well, it was a pick 'em. It was a pick 'em at the beginning of the week. When the line came out, it's moved to Cowboys 1.5. If you gave it to me at a pick 'em, I'd probably take Dallas still. But I don't know. It comes down to who do I have more faith in, the Dallas offense as a whole or Philly's offense as a whole. If you give me Wentz with 1 or 2 great receivers, I'll take Philly all day long. But I don't see him with the weapons unless Miles Sanders comes out and just ridiculously plays lights out. I don't see him having enough weapons. And so, I don't know. I got Cowboys at 1.5. Sorry, Damien. I hate to disappoint you, but as I'll put back on the screen, Cowboys suck, go Eagles. I know that's a tough one for a lot of people. It's going to be one of the more fun games, I think, of the week. But I got the Cowboys at 1.5.
Yeah, I just the Eagles have a track record of not stopping Zeke.
Yeah.
So that doesn't bode well. I know some of the Eagles are getting a little bit healthier, but I don't know if it's in time. This is like a radioactive game, like do not touch for me. So
Yep, I agree. All right, man. Well, got my picks out of the way first this time, so now we will move on to yours. So who you got this week?
All right, we're going to start with a game where I actually have two picks in the one game because I took the spread and the over and under.
And I
I just saw him play my Steelers, so I'm talking about the Bills-Patriots game. I got to be honest with you. I understand the Patriots' history and all that, and I know they're winning the division, but I'm a little surprised at the spread of this game.
I was.
6.5.
Ridiculous
for the Patriots. I gotta be honest with you. I think this is going to be a low-scoring game, and whoever wins this, I see like a 17-14 type game. So 6.5.
Well, just look at the last time. Look at the last time they played. Look at early in the season when Buffalo played New England. Arguably, when New England was playing a hell of a lot better, and I don't know. You've got to. I wanted to take this game. I had this game written down as soon as I saw your picks with it. I had to cross it off because I can't tie you right now. So I love the Bills here. Anytime I can take a team that, and I gotta say, and Katz will love this, I was completely wrong on the Bills. Completely wrong. Yeah. I had them as nothing at the beginning of this year. They were still my little Carolina North, if you will, taking all of our cast-offs and building a team. But their defense scares me. They have built this team to play against the Patriots. And you have to. But I think also the amount of snubs that they got in the Pro Bowl, I thought Buffalo was going to just hold the AFC roster down on defense in the Pro Bowl. They had one? I think. Katz will correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe they had one player on defense selected. I say, Trey Day. I see this as almost where a lot of the Bills defense kind of steps up and says, well, hold on here. We kind of came to play too. like I said, I think Buffalo has built this team for this type of game. You look at what they did to New England the first time. I know you can say everything you want about adjustments and everything, but I'm right there with you. I love the Bills at +6.5 here because, like you said, even if they lose, I don't see it being a high-scoring game. I see a lot of these divisional games as low-scoring. And if you say that a team with as good of a defense as Buffalo lose by 6 and I'm still going to win, yeah, I'm going to take it. So I love the pick.
Yeah, I've seen them up close. I've seen them last week against my team. They're legit defense. Not even a debate anymore.
No.
Let's be real. New England is not scoring a lot of points.
I don't think they're good.
Yeah.
Honestly, this is a game exactly where Tom Brady is gonna have to win the game. And I've said this for 2 or 3 straight weeks. You put him in games this season with this roster where he has to win it, it's not gonna happen. I do not think it's the same reason they're not going to the Super Bowl. They're going to get into the playoffs. They're going to play a team, and it's going to be a defense that's going to force Tom Brady and the lack of weapons they have there to try and win the game. I don't see it happening. They'll probably kick the shit out of the Bills now and do all this because I say that. But I love the pick at 6.5.
And I got to be honest with you, man. I could make a case why the Bills probably should be favored in this game, maybe by like 2 points.
Yep.
So when I saw this line, I'm going to be honest with you. I zoomed in on my phone, which is where I was looking at this. I thought maybe I was reading it wrong.
So did I.
So when I saw that, I'm like, there's my pick. I almost made it my lock, and I tell you the reason. The only reason I really didn't was it's because the Patriots, and every time I bury them and put the last shovel of dirt on them, they come roaring out of that grave. So I wasn't going to go that far, but I'm feeling pretty good at 6.5. And then I took the under too at 30. What is it? 36.5.
36.5. Yeah.
I don't think these two teams put up 36 points, which is obviously why I took the. I see a 17-14. I even see like 14-10 type of ball game.
100%. I love it. I mean, we've kind of talked about it. You're talking about 2 great defenses, really. They both have good defenses. But, I don't know. I think this – I mean, you saw what happened the first week they played. It was a ridiculously low-scoring game. 36.5 is low. But I don't see the winning team cracking 20 here.
No,
I don't at all. And even if they get to 20, if the winning team hits 20, even if they hit 17, they'd have to hit 17. So I don't know. And if it does, it could become a blowout by either of these teams. Honestly, it could go either way. But I don't know. I love the under at 36.5. It was a little too close for me, but like I said, looking at how Buffalo's defense is played, I don't think Tom Brady can do much with the offense he has right now. I think this is where you see a lot of chinks in the armor. So I like the under at 36.5. If you took it any lower, if you brought it down to 35 or 34, I'd probably be scared. But at 36.5, I like it.
Yep. And so the next game I picked, Drew, is Bears Chiefs. I took the Chiefs. Nice. I think Mahomes is starting to get healthy. I think he's getting into playoff mode, and the Bears aren't playing terrible, but they still have a guy named Mitch Trubisky under center. That hasn't changed. And if you're going to tell me Mitch Trubisky versus Patrick Mahomes, and Mahomes is not going to win by a touchdown, I'm going to disagree with you. So I'm going to go with the Chiefs. I just think they're revving up for a postseason. Is this the year Andy Reid wins the Super Bowl? Probably not, but they might make it. And so I saw this and I just said, man, this screams take the Chiefs to me.
It does. It does. No, I agree with you here. I will say I've got to give him a little bit of credit just because I ragged on him so bad for most of the year. Trubisky's actually been playing incredibly well. The last couple of weeks, he has been playing pretty good. But like you said, this is a primetime game too. You put this maybe at like 1:00 or something. Maybe I give it a little bit more of an edge to Chicago being at home. But I don't know. I just can't see betting, like you said, against the Chiefs in prime time, right before the playoffs, against a team like Chicago, who's shown all year that in these big games and in these big moments, look at Trubisky's track record. Look at it this year. It's awful. And so as good as he has been playing the last, I mean, it's only been 3 weeks, hasn't even been a month, but as good as he's been playing, I do like the pick at -6.
Yeah. I don't love it. That's why it's not my lock, but I feel good about the pick itself. So that's where I went. I'm not so. I don't think the Bears are going to light up the scoreboard, and Kansas City's a team that can. So I thought under a touchdown, I wasn't buying it for the Bears. So. And my lock, surprisingly, this was a team we made fun of all year.
Yeah. I'll still make fun of them, but
and if you would have told me I would be taking them as my lock at this point in the year, I thought we'd be talking about a new head coach and next year, and I'm going to take the Falcons and buy a touchdown, no less as well over the Jacksonville Jaguars, and. The Jaguars right now, they got all sorts of problems. That team is in turmoil in the front office. Tom Coughlin just got shown the door, and here was he already announced he was retiring at the end of the year.
Yeah, I know.
Shad Khan said, "No, you're out now." If it comes out now that he was fining guys left and right for the littlest of things. The NFL Player Association was actually telling players not to go and sign with Jacksonville, and the league just reversed. The league just reversed pretty much almost every fine that Tom Coughlin levied on players. Leonard Fournette just got $99,000 back.
Yeah, see what happens when you go on vacation? You miss so much stuff. Jesus, I heard none of this. I can't wait to read up about it. Because I was about to say, one of the things that's been so shocking to me was, and why I agree with this pick is basically because of what you just said. Jacksonville, they've been one of the biggest disappointments to me all year. Look at this team 2 years ago. Could you have ever believed that this team would go downhill this fast? I mean, it seemed like they were get rid of Bortles, they were a piece away. And then Bortles goes, you even have a rookie come in this year with Minshew. It looks like you've got the quarterback of the future, and then your defense implodes. I mean, this was a defense that a couple of years ago was scarier than the Buffalo defense we were just talking about. It was terrifyingly good. It's a shell of itself. And it shows that by the fact that the Falcons, of all teams, are 7-point favorites.
And I have no qualms picking them either. It's not even like I'm debating. Right now, that team's a mess. You got guys that it's just a bad atmosphere. There's a stench in that room. When you hear that the Players Association has been telling players not to even consider signing with them.
That's crazy.
It's one thing that's the case. It's another thing to make it public. And then the league itself reverses the fines that Coughlin just was thrown around like candy. And there's a lot of pieces to pick up there. I think that team is in disarray. I don't think they're going to come out prepared. I think Doug Marrone, truthfully at this point, because him and Coughlin are buddies, I think he's dead man walking now. Frankly, I think he'd be fired, but with only 2 weeks left, Shad Khan just probably saying, "Listen, let's get through the year, and then I'll get rid of this guy, and we'll worry about it next year." So I'd be shocked if Marrone is on the sideline. I think that team knows that. I think they have a built-in excuse to come out and play bad now, and so this just doesn't bode well. And Atlanta, as crazy as it sounds, is starting to play well, and so. I just see this as sort of a set. I could see Atlanta winning by 14, 17 points. Jacksonville's going to mail it in here the last 2 weeks, and so this was when I saw this, I just said, man, I guess that has to be my lock. I think we lost Drew. Apparently that Florida air is not working good with his Wi-Fi, I think. Come in, Drew.
All right. Well, I guess we are still live now. So sorry about that, guys. We had a little interruption. Newman will be back in just a few moments, hopefully. But all right. So while we are waiting for Mr. Newman, I will go on and pull up, since we did just finish going through all of this, let me pull up our roll call of our picks this week, just in case you missed any. Know what's going on with StreamYard tonight. But for week 16, if you did miss anything, we've got Mr. Newman here with the Bills at +6.5. Then you've got New England and Buffalo at -36.5, the Chiefs at -6, and the Falcons at -7 for his lock of the week. And for myself, you got the Texans at -3, Packers at +5.5, Saints at -2.5, and the Cowboys as the lock at -1.5. Last week, myself and Mr. Newman both went 2-2, and that gives Mr. Newman an overall advantage of, well, let's see. He's got hey, you're back now. I don't know what happened. Apparently, we were still live, but we're back now. So I was just going through everything. Last week, obviously, we both went 2-2, and that puts overall standings here. You pretty much got a nice little cushion there at 27-20-1. That's not bad, dude. That's impressive. I will give that to you. It's a nice little solid streak. I do not like where I'm at 21-25-2, but hopefully that can change this week.
Well, like I said prior, I'll stick up for you. We kind of got in late with the show and doing the picks. It'll be interesting to see when we start in a week 1 and play it out that way. It's kind of like starting a marathon and we jumped in at like mile 10. Yeah. You know, so I didn't really run a full race, but you know, which at my age and shape, that's probably a good thing. You know, but so yeah, I mean, I like it. I'm actually, you know, I do some betting on the side, nothing crazy big, but I'm doing actually fairly well there too. So maybe after 40 something years of watching football, I learned a few things here and there along the way.
Nice. Well, you know, I may not be doing that great on the picks department this year, at least, but the one place I have been doing well is as the DFS. So with that in mind, let's get right into our starters and sleepers for the week. And I'm going to let you start it off. What's that?
I said that's called a segue.
It is.
All right. I got 2 sleepers, if I may.
Sure. I like it.
Dwayne Haskins. There's a name. There's a name you didn't think you might hear on a sleeper list. Now, I know he's not been playing very well at all. He is the starter, obviously. They're going to start him the rest of the way, barring injury. And I got to think there's got to be a game here in this last 2 games where he looks like the high pick and the future franchise quarterback that Washington thinks he is. And go ahead.
No, I was going to say he's got to. I mean, he has to. I actually like this pick a lot.
Yeah, and so you look at the Giants; they really haven't stopped anybody. Pat Shermer's going to be fired. The Giants know that. They're playing, they're thinking about next year.
Oh, yeah.
Saquon Barkley's struggled, not so much. I think coming back from the injury, that line's not good. And I just see this a game, and I could be wrong. Haskins could kind of be so again and whatnot. But he's going to be cheap as far as DFS goes.
Yeah.
And so your ROI, you might pay off here this is the week. If you're ever going to pick a Haskins in a DFS, this might be the week to do it. I think your returns might come in. He's got to have a game here where he throws for like 280, 300, 3 or 4 touchdowns. Yeah. And, they do have some more weapons there with McLaurin starting to play well.
Oh, I love that kid.
Yeah. And so this is a game, and, I mentioned even McLaurin. That might be another guy you look at too here. But I think this kind of just a gut reaction. I just think this might be a Haskins type.
I mean, where, like you said, it's a sleeper pick. We're not going to be we're not going to be throwing out top tier names here. And if you're going to go with a sleeper quarterback, at least looking at these schedules, this is a good game to go against, because I do think the Giants have nothing to play for except for next year. A couple of players may have some contract bonuses in there, but other than that, I don't see they're not playing for anything. I see this as almost where they start to see what they have in a couple other players. Not sold on that offense at all. I like Haskins. I think it's a great pick.
Yeah, and their secondary, the Giants secondary is not good.
Awful.
One of their top picks, the cornerback DeAndre Baker, a guy I loved and I was hoping might be wearing black and gold. He's been terrible.
Yeah. Yes.
And so I don't know. This just screams Haskins putting his name on the map for at least a week and making Redskins fans excited for maybe what the future holds. And the other sleeper pick, he's having actually a pretty good year, but he's not in that top tier by any stretch of the imagination. Devontae Parker, receiver in Miami.
Wow. Okay.
Starting to play well. I'm not saying Miami's good, but, they can score. They've shown a tendency that they can put up some points even in losses. And, Ryan Fitzpatrick can still throw the ball around a little bit. And so I think this is a week where Parker's going to be he's cheap. And, again, that's what a sleeper pick is to me.
Exactly. It has to be.
Yep, a guy you can get at a bargain price that may put up tier 1 numbers. And so Parker and Haskins are I know we usually pick one.
No, I like that.
I went with 2 guys.
I really like that pick. I think Miami wins this game. I think it's a high scoring game. I almost took them as one of my spreads this week. I think this is one game I think the Dolphins easily win, actually. And I really do like that pick. I think they seem to be really good at screwing up. And so the worst thing they could do right now is win more games. So I see them winning this game and probably winning week 17 too, just because they're the Dolphins. They don't know what they're doing. But I love that pick. Love it. Yeah. So who you got for your starter of the week?
All right. I only got one here, so I won't go overboard. He's an MVP candidate. I don't think he wins, but I think if he's going to make a late push to try to steal the award back, it might happen this week. Quarterback Russell Wilson.
Nice.
Again, obviously he's going to be in that top tier wise, so obviously not a sleeper, but I don't think he wins the award, but I think he gets a little bit buzz up again with a big week this week, and I think he's a safe bet. He's actually been sort of quiet, like he's played well, but like fantasy wise, he's been kind of quiet. So I think this is a week he starts to make some noise again in fantasy league with fantasy type numbers. So he would be my starter pick.
I like that. I could easily see him making a late push for the award. I don't think he wins it just because I think the media's made up their mind. I don't even think Jackson can lose it at this point, honestly. I mean, Wilson would have to do something scary good. which he can do. The Seattle team's good. I think they can go far. I like Russell Wilson as a starter this week. How can you not? He's put up good numbers all year. There's a reason he's in talks for the MVP. This is a game where he could put up some big points. So, yeah, I like it. All right. So, I'll start out with my sleepers, too. And I thought you were about to say my guy with one of your sleepers because you said Devontae. But then you switched up the last name. But I'm going with another one, and that's Devontae Freeman. I don't know what it is about all these Falcons. Yeah. Yes, I know. We have ragged on this dude and the Falcons all year. But I'm telling you that maybe that's why it's more of a sleeper to me. But I'm looking at these stats right here, dude. The last 3 weeks, he's got 68% of Atlanta's rushing attempts. They're playing the Jags. We just talked about how bad they were. He's a sleeper, obviously. He would not be. I would not recommend starting him unless it's a deep DFS, like a 40K person pool, and you need someone like him to actually get into the money. But if there's ever a week where he can actually take those 68% of the carries and do something with them, it should be this week against Jacksonville. He hasn't produced at all this year. So, all right. I don't know. Something tells me week 16, you're going to see old Devontae Freeman. I think he scores at least once. I think he has at least 80 yards on the ground. Probably goes over 100 with a touchdown. You give me my sleeper given 17, 18 points. That's exactly what I need.
Yeah, I got to be honest with you. I can't argue it because all your points are viable. I just thought it was funny hearing you say him.
Oh, I know.
That's what caught me in the funny bone is hearing you pick him.
Oh yeah, because I have ragged on him all year for good reason. He's been fucking terrible.
Yeah, he is terrible.
But it seems like Atlanta has. I'll give him credit. They've stuck with him. They've kept trying. I mean, he kind of disappeared for a little while there, but I mean, coming back to it now, they've actually been playing good the last couple of weeks, and that's when I looked at it. Atlanta's been playing good. And then I look and see Freeman's been handling the entire rushing load pretty much. And so if you give me that, you give me the Jacksonville team, I think Atlanta wins this game by 2 or 3 scores. I could easily see them not having to pass much in the second half. I could see him easily getting 26, 30 touches in this game. I don't know. Something told me to take him, and I don't know what it was, but we're going with Devontae Freeman.
Yeah, after hearing you explain all that, man, I'm almost sold on him. I think too, they're gonna, like you said, they're gonna run the wheels off him because I don't know if they're bringing him back next year.
No. So, he's not coming back. So why not? Why not run him ragged? And for him, that's good because if you're not coming back there, exactly. And what better way to do that against Jacksonville? I mean, that sets up perfect in and of itself.
Yep.
So I really like Devontae Freeman.
I can't argue that call there. I'm just surprised, I guess.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, trust me, nobody was more surprised with that than me. When I had to write it down, I still almost erased my Rocket book real quick because I was like, wait a minute, no, did I
It's funny too when you said Devontae. Just knowing the Panthers, I said you can't pick Devontae Adams in the sleeper section.
Yeah, see, I got you there. I knew it.
You did. You did.
Like to keep you off guard here. All right. So you had 2 on the sleepers. I've got 2 on the starters, and it really is because one of them apparently I haven't gotten a chance to watch it. I'm guessing we'll hear a little more information today, but my first one's Joe Mixon. And that's if he plays. Now, apparently he wasn't listed on the injury report Wednesday, but then was today. And so maybe he got hurt in practice. I don't know. I don't know how serious it is. If he plays, I do like Joe Mixon versus the Dolphins. In the last 2 weeks, he leads the NFL in touches and yards, yards from scrimmage. I think this game against Miami, I think Miami wins it, but I think that it's a high-scoring game. So if Joe Mixon does play, then I really like Joe Mixon against the Dolphins to at least put up very good numbers.
Yeah, he is. He's probably right now. I'm not saying he's the best back this year, but he's probably the best back as far as numbers right at the moment. And so you can't argue that pick. You're going with a hot hand in a game, like you said. I think it's going to be high scoring.
Very.
I agree. I think Miami wins, but this might be one of them 40 to 35 type games.
Yep. I
really
think it gets there. I think this game gets there because Dalton's actually playing good. Both of these teams have actually started playing a lot better. I think it's the perfect time for them, both of these offenses, to play both of these defenses. So I see this, like you just said, I could easily see both of these teams easily reaching over 35. And if Mixon plays, I love it. I think he's primed for some big numbers this week if he's healthy. If he's not, if he's not, and I struggled with this because he's played awful this year when he's played, and it's kind of a forgotten position with the tight end, but in these weeks, especially these weird end of the season weeks, I really like Hunter Henry at tight end.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And it's only because the team they're playing against is so bad against tight ends. I see him actually, and it's one of those things where if he's going to put up numbers, if he's going to put them up at all, it's got to come this week. And
well, I view that more as a sleeper pick, man. He's not really. You could classify that as a sleeper guy.
Well, he could go either way. When I look at the tight end matchups this week, he jumped off the board to me, and maybe it's because they still have him priced so high in the tight ends because they really they won't drop a starter, that low, because then it makes no sense. Everyone's going to snag him up. So they've kept his price kind of high. So that's why I put him in the starters and not the sleepers, because I looked at his overall price and where his rank was, and I couldn't justify it as a sleeper pick. But that's just it. With his production this year, that's what I'm saying. He should be, but his pricing still has him kind of at the starter level, which is why I have him as a starter. But I think he has a good week this year. I think he has a good week this week, and
this year too, because we're waiting for it. Maybe this is the week.
Just one. I just want to see 1 week where he shows like the potential that I thought he had. Yeah, and he hasn't done it this year. This sets up big for him, so I don't know. Like I said, if I had to pick one of the two, it's Joe Mixon, even if he's questionable. But if he doesn't play, my starter would probably be Hunter Henry.
And I got to be honest with you, man. I used to be a Hunter Henry guy. I thought he was going to be the next big tight end in the pros, and he's just been injured all the time. And then after coming back from injury, he's just been sort of ho hum, nothing, no great shakes, and you're waiting for that breakout game, and maybe you know something here. So. We'll see.
Well, I hope I know something. I would like to say I hope I know something. I've made enough ridiculous predictions on this show that a couple have to come right. And there could be quite a few that we look back on and laugh at this week. But, so I don't know. Starters, I got Joe Mixon and Hunter Henry. Sleeper, I can't believe I'm going to say it again. Devontae Freeman.
It's just funny hearing you say it. Like, I'm looking whenever you say it. I look on the screen to see if like there's a gun to the side here. Read this.
Nope.
Here, read this.
That's about what you'd have to do. That's how much I have to be high on him to put a Falcon when I have only one player to pick, to put a Falcon at all. And a sleeper. That's how high I am on him this week. So I don't know. The sleeper, I gotta go with it, man.
Well, we picked 6 players, so we got to get something right. We one or two, if not more, we should hit on. Yeah,
you would hope so. All right, guys. Well, once again, if you missed our week 16 picks, got Texans at -3, Packers at +5.5, Saints at -2.5. And my lock of the week is Cowboys at -1.5. And Mr. Newman's got the Bills at +6.5 and the under of that New England Buffalo game at 36.5. The Chiefs at -6, and his lock of the week, Falcons -7. Did you ever think when we started this show that when we got to week 16, we would both be taking Falcon players and be spending at least 10 minutes. At least 10 minutes of the show today has been about the damn Falcons.
It's like bizarro.
Fucking world. Ridiculous. It's
like I expect like my alarm clock to wake up to go off, and it's like I gotta go to work. It's just a weird dream.
Yeah, I know. I'm right there with you. Right there with you, man.
Yeah, that is funny. That is fun. Well, you know what though? That's the NFL this year, man. Honestly,
exactly.
I mean, every week, you know, like you said, going 27-20. I think to do that on a year where we've had so many up and down teams lose games they shouldn't. That I take more pride, I think, in a crazy year like this than in a normal year, you know.
And you should. And this is the time of the year too where these week 16 and week 17 games, they are so out there and just ridiculously weird. I actually went and looked back at last year's week 16 and week 17 games. Go look at the scores. They're funny. And that's why I looked at some of these games and I was like, okay, there's going to be a lot of these that are just a lot different than people think they're going to go. And that's where I see a lot of this.
Well, you make a great point, and sometimes I forget about this too, as crazy football guy as I am. You make a great point. This is the weeks where teams that really aren't playing for nothing are plugging guys in that they see as starters next year to give them a litmus test. And some don't, you know, let's be real. Some of those guys don't pass that test this week. And so that leads to
Will Greer.
Yeah. I don't know. I like him more than you do, and he's on your team.
All you have to do is like him a little bit, and you like him a lot more than I do.
You know, we've had this conversation on our shows and off the air, and I'm sort of a Will Greer guy. I know you didn't want him to play this year this fast, but
you got nothing to play. But now, I think I even said it about a month ago. I wouldn't want him to play like week 13, 14, 15. You give me these last 2 weeks, I'm kind of okay with it now because, I mean, there's absolutely nothing to play for. But I don't know. It's going to be interesting. Just go back and look at week 16 and week 17 scores from last year. Look at their records, and you'll see that these next 2 weeks are probably going to be pretty wild. Now, the one awesome thing is we got football all weekend. We got not only, I mean, obviously we don't have a game tonight, but you start football off with Saturday. I love pro football on Saturdays. I think it's awesome. Then you got a full slate Sunday. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, and this time of year, there's so much. I usually don't have many fingernails left this time of year with nail bite. And if you're a Steelers fan, you're never firmly entrenched in anything yet. Even on the years you do make the playoffs, it's always comes down to the wire. And so
the fact that you guys are in this right now, I mean, for one, Tomlin deserves Coach of the Year. Tomlin 100% deserves Coach of the Year. I know they probably give it to Harbaugh or somebody like that, but there's nobody that has come close to doing so much with so little as with Mike. And I was not a Mike Tomlin fan when this year started. I thought he got a pass for a lot of things over there. And I think a lot of your talent really compensated for some years where he really was not that great of a coach. But seeing what he has done this year, it's impressive, and he would be my Coach of the Year candidate. So since we have nothing to play for, maybe I'll root for you guys on Sunday.
All right, I'll take it. We got one room. We always got a couple extra seats on the bus for honorary fans. We need. I like your Saints pick. I hope it's right because it moves us one step closer. But, you know, Tomlin. My take on Tomlin. I was a Tomlin fan early. Then the middle years, I started to wane a little bit, and then, like you said, last year was ugly, and I'm like, this guy's lost the locker room. And then we start. Like, I'm gonna be honest.
Then you literally got rid of everybody.
And then we started out 1-4, and I'm like, this guy is the you know, the message ain't being received no more. We got to go in a different direction. And then he's, you know, smoke and mirrors. I don't know how he did it. Called in Joe Boo. I don't know. But whatever it is, it's worked. Here they are, 8-6. If you would have told me that 1-4 team with the injuries they had with Ben and even Connor going down and some defensive guys, I would have said nope. I hate to admit it, but as a fan at 1-4 with all the injuries, I'm like, we're done. We're almost playing for a higher draft pick, and this was obviously before the Minka trade, and we traded that first round pick. And that's another reason we want to win, because we don't have that pick, and so we don't want it to be too low. But yeah, man, this year it's just been a crazy. There's always storylines in every football season, but this year just seems to be one of the crazier years we've had. Probably in the few years gone by.
I couldn't agree with you more. And what better year to start roughing the passer? So with that in mind, guys, we will wrap up our picks and preview show and get ready for a fun weekend of football. Get that Christmas shopping over with and come join us Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday's going to be fun day.
Oh, it is. Y'all have a good one.
See you.